Alright, so this is my solo Shaman build when I got to 100. It's of course using the Ulto set because all of my builds are using the sets that are specifically for the character. Using an aggressive of Squall's Gaullus Ring and an incorruptible of attack. Basically anything to get me offensive ability. Um, I'm also using emboldening presence to get physical res and offensive ability, and savagery as my main attack for this build to get me more attack speed, offensive ability, and health regeneration, which is a huge health regeneration buff. I'm using primal strike on cooldown as a big nuke ability. I've got my weapon pull skills that go with my savagery, maxing out brute force, of course. Just one pointing in Wendigo totem to keep myself alive. 1 point in Storm Totem to proc Devotions. Maxed out Briarthorn to get it more health. 1 point in this just to add another stun to the build. The generate pet doesn't really help, but it just kind of adds a another layer of defense for the pet itself. Maxed out Mogdrogan and Heart of the Wild for health regeneration, and Oak Skin for defensive ability and armor. The ability has the build has 3,000 armor and 51% Fizz Res without having without using what's it called? Savagery. Savagery increases my Fizz Res up to 59%. My attack speed is 46% without Savagery. Again, it increases with Savagery, and it's 3,000 per second without Savagery or other buffs. Popping on Savagery, 1, 2, well, let's see, if I'm clicking on it, 1, 2, 3, it builds up to 8, and I'm up to 3,600 health regeneration per second with 59% Fizz Res and 157% attack speed. My lightning damage, I have 6% lifesteal, which is okay, but I have so much health regen that I don't really care about the lifesteal that much. 169% cast speed, so I can pop down my Wind Devils, my totems. I'm using Wind Devils for the RR. I'm not really using it so I don't have to keep 3 Wind Devils up at all times. I have 2,400 lightning damage without Savagery. Pop Savagery, and it gets over 2,600. My electrocute damage is 2,200, which is not bad. Primal Strike's on about a 2-second cooldown. It does really big damage since it's on a cooldown. Wind Devil does okay. Storm Totem does okay. And the one thing about your pet is make sure you set it to defensive as soon as you summon it, so it doesn't go off attacking things. With this build, the pet's on like a 13-second cooldown, so every 13 seconds you get to reapply this buff in a boss fight, and the pet will survive for a little while. It's basically like a 6-second uptime of this buff, and this buff is 13% Fizz Res and like 100 something. Without this pet, let's see, without this pet, I only have 38% Fizz Res. So it's a big survivability thing. Even though I have 3,000 armor, so I am super tanky anyway, and I still have like so much health regen. But with this pet up, I'm just super stand in the fire, DPS higher kind of build. I would not recommend playing this as a solo build. I would actually replace using the pet with something like Blood of Dreeg. If you just want to just use this exact same build but add something onto it. You could do a soldier one-handed version of this and cut Primal Strike out and make it even tankier. There's a lot of ways you could play this alternate version, but this is the solo version. Anyways, thanks for watching. Up next is some just random boss kills I had with this towards the end of the build once I swapped it over to Savagery. This is Brother Kaiman. Dropping all the loot. Father Kaiman.
I am sorry, my...
This is an ultimate. Alright, we're at Korvac on ultimate. This is a solo class. Oh, we actually got to cast this stuff. Kinda. Yeah, that's the solo shaman build. I'm using Briarthorn. Oh, it's on aggressive. That's why I was having issues. I'm using Briarthorn as my buff, basically. Um, Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, please don't play this. This is just a kind of a challenge kind of thing to get each of the classes to 99 or to 100. Mixing this with any other class, like a cultist or soldier or even elementalist, would be so much better. Elementalist would have even more health regen than this does. Because you would get Vindictive Flame, plus you would get another, like you would get Thermite Mine. You would lose Briarthorn's offensive ability, but you would gain Temper, and you would lose the physical res from it. But you could also just take Blood of Dreeg from the Occultist and do just as good. Anyways.